Welcome back, True Seeker. It is the 4th of July, 2023. And before we get into today's topic, bad news in the community. Rambo, who has a really great YouTube channel, or I should say had a really great YouTube channel, The Truth Codes, was taken down. And I hope he has his videos backed up. Unfortunately, he hasn't been doing TFR lately. And when he was doing TFR, he was using my website. I had a section built on the website so that he had, access and could post there whenever he wanted. He hasn't posted since he stopped doing TFR. And one of the reasons I encouraged him to do that is because it would be a place where his work would always be archived. So I do hope he gets back to posting on GematriaEffectNews. Again, that's the website that I share content from each day. But yeah, Rambo's channel got victimized, and who knows what for. I mean, Rambo's videos are always classy. He's very clean with his language, and it's just further proof that they just don't want the exposing out there that the Gematria community is doing. It's why I've lost 20-some channels now. Again, the channel that I had up from last year's road trip across the nation, going city to city, including a channel that Rambo was on in the flesh, speaking with us in New York City out on the streets. They just took down that channel recently. And I was purposefully not using that channel since the road trip with the hope of it not getting any strikes, but they just found a reason to take it down anyway. So days after that channel goes down, Rambo's channel goes down, and it just makes you wonder what channel's going down next. Derek at Gematrinator. Again, Derek's who made the Gematrinator calculator. He's lost his channel at least one time. He might have lost his channel a couple of times now. He always keeps his language real clean and tries to be less controversial in his presentations. But of course, there's been a lot of people with Gematria channels who've lost their content and work. And again, Rambo's worked really hard on his channel, so I do sympathize. If you never watched Rambo's videos, I'm sure people will be re-uploading them in other places, but he put a lot of effort into his videos. Nice visuals, nice music, great narration with his voice, and it's just a major injustice. It's really gross what Google does, taking down people who care about truth and justice and knowledge. Like I said at the beginning of June, that video game came out, that was advertising, hell comes to New York City, Diablo 4, like the game's releasing as the city's covered in smoke with orangish red skies. It looks like hell. But anyway, I was talking about how that game, how it's such a big game, and it supposedly set a record in video game sales with 666 million in sales in the first 5 days, when the symbol for the game's a pentagram, 5-pointed, and of course 666 is the number of the devil, and the game's called Diablo, the Spanish name for devil. But anyway, I mean, if you go on YouTube right now and you search for that video game, I mean, just content like crazy, millions upon millions of views, people making all kinds of money from showing how to play the game. And meanwhile, you want to talk about anything truth related, your video is instantly demonetized. Your channel's likely going down. It's just like, what is this? Why can you worship a video game about playing and slaying the devil? But and again, I'm asking rhetorical questions. Again, they don't care about. That's what they want people doing. They want people, just engrossed in entertainment and virtual reality, and not exposing the controllers of this world. So, Rambo, if you're out there, don't be discouraged. Come right back, and hopefully you got the videos backed up. If not, you got to back up those videos. And I'm sure other people were backing up Rambo's videos. So, yeah, and when Rambo does come back, he was just approaching 10,000 subscribers. It was amazing that he wasn't hitting that 10,000 milestone. It seemed like he should have hit it a while back, and YouTube probably wasn't letting him hit it. If you've ever been a YouTube content creator in the truth community, you know how it is, like when you're right at the milestone and you just can't hit it. It's just like my sports channel. My sports channel was about to hit 90 million at the time of the Super Bowl, and then it just couldn't hit it, and then all of a sudden, or not 90 million, 90,000. should be hitting 90 million. Would have been if it was not deleted back in 2016. It'd easily be at 90 million. So by now, the way it was growing back then. But it was about to hit 90,000. And then it just couldn't. And then all of a sudden, it lost like 1,000 subs and another 1,000. The next thing you knew, it was down to 87,000. It's like, oh, okay. I'm sure people are unsubscribing, and that's not Google destroying the channel again. And the Gematria Effect Sports channel, even though it has that many subs, it's a dead channel. Nobody gets a notification. So anyway, why are we so censored? Because we are the people who figured out the code that exposes what's really going on in the world and what evil cabal is running the show. The Jesuit order, the same order warned about for centuries. And again, they're a sun-worshipping cult that serves the Catholic Church that gave us the calendar in the English language and began using the knowledge of Gematria after the Crusades when the Templars brought back the code from the Holy Lands. But yeah, this code, I mean, it just shows you exactly what's going on day after day. And in the last 24 hours, a lot of people have asked me to decode the death of Robert De Niro's grandson. Well, again, you guys, I wish you'd watch my videos. You should know by now, if you follow my work, that just because a video has a title and a thumbnail doesn't mean that that's all that's in the video. Yesterday, at the end of yesterday's stream on why Israel was front and center in the news on the anniversary of the death of Theodore Herzl, the founder of Zionism, people asked if I could decode Robert De Niro's grandson's death, and we did it right there. And there were two things in the live decode that should have been in there that I didn't have, but we had the majority of it. And again, I did point out about how the grandson was in the movie Birth of a Star and how his death is synced with that. But here's the thing I missed. I didn't type out the title of the film, or excuse me, the film's called A Star is Born. And again, if you're new here, Gematria, the simple practice of coding numbers into words. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26. The other ciphers running the alphabetic order in reverse. Z is 1 back to A is 26, and then both orders with numerology. Notice how with numerology forwards, a star is born equals 46. Notice A is 1 because it's the first letter. The reason S is 1, it's the 19th letter. The numerology of 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. T is the 20th letter. The next letter, T, 22 plus 0 becomes 2. You just make each letter a single-digit number. A star is born 46. When you run it in reverse, 80. Alphabetic order in reverse numerology. And why does that matter, 46 and 80? Because Robert De Niro's grandson is dead 46 days before his 80th birthday. And this is what we see again and again, how all these deaths are synced with these people's careers and what they're known for. In the first article we read about his death, they mentioned that he was in this film, A Star is Born. We looked at it instantly. And again, the other thing we saw is from the anniversary of the release date of the film to his death was a span of 271 days, which is the 58th prime number. Star is 58. Again, stars is 58. Zodiac, which has to do with astrology and the stars, is 58. Again, calendar is 58. We're on the Gregorian calendar named after a pope. Gregorian is 58. We happen to be in the time of Pope Francis, which also equals 58. Like secret societies, 58. Like, again, Freemasonry's 58. Like Rosicrucians, 58. Like how King James, who was a Freemason and Rosicrucian, died at age 58. Like how this code is biblical, which is 58. And so on and so forth. The Bible is astrotheology, knowledge based in the stars, the English language given to us by the Catholic Church, where the word sun is used to describe the nearest star, as well as a male offspring. In this case, it was the grandson of Robert De Niro, who's Catholic, who's a major star in this world, who's made a lot of dinero, which is Spanish for money. And again, I mean, it's just so obvious why more and more people aren't speaking out about what's really going on. You know, possible drug overdose is the story again. An OD of a 19-year-old when the sun card's the 19th card of the tarot deck. OD 19, they're saying that's the likely cause of death. We've heard it a million times in the world of celebrity. These overdoses by the numbers. And again, dead on a Sunday. And in light of the Jesuits running the whole show, Jesuit Order 72, dead on Sunday, 7-2. Notice how Jesuit Order equals 54 as well. 54 forward, 72 in reverse. Sun is 54. Their logo's the sun. Again, the Catholic Church is a sun-worshipping cult. But Jesuit Order 72, 72 names of God in Kabbalah. Kabbalah is where Gematria comes from. Opening page of the Book of Formation, the Kabbalistic text says, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. And again, we have a 26-letter alphabet, God 26, letter 26, and the list gets a lot bigger from there, how all these things come together. Again, read the opening chapter of my first book, Letters and Numbers, and why the opening chapter is why the English alphabet has 26 letters. So, again, to go over all the points that are relevant here, we hit the significance of him dying 46 days before De Niro's 80th birthday. In case you're new here, again, we saw how the name of the film is 46. For the record, Catholics 46, like the 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, where Genesis 46 begins with the sacrifice. Sacrifice is 46 and 73. Ritual sacrifice is also 73. Robert De Niro is also 73. And he died on July 2nd. His mom did a social media post, but no news media covered the story until the next day, 7/3, July 3rd. And again, that was also the anniversary of the death of Theodore Herzl, which is where we began with why he died on July 3rd, the founder of Zionism, who died 44 years before the establishment of Israel. Again, just so you know how this goes on to bigger things than Robert De Niro. Israel 44, Zion 44, military 44. Yesterday the headline was the biggest attack on West Bank City by Israel in 20 years. West Bank City 44. Again. So anyway, 19th card of the tarot deck. The Sun card, again on a Sunday. The news breaks on a Monday, Moon Day. The 19-year cycle of the moon. The sun and the moon. The male and the feminine. The mother loses the son. De Niro loses the grandson. So again, from the film's release October 5th to the death, a span of 271 days. Again, just because we're going over numbers, to be redundant, 271, the 58th prime, the word star 58, stars 58 when you run it in reverse, like zodiac calendar and Gregorian 58. Again, dead 46 days before De Niro's 80th birthday. A Star is Born, 46 and 80. And by the way, this movie came out in 2018, right? Emphasis on 18. Sun is 18 as well. Dead on a Sunday. The Jesuit acronym for Jesus Hominum Salvator, IHS, is 18 forwards and backwards. If you're not familiar with the Jesuit logo, look it up. It's the sun with the Templar cross, with the letters IHS, with 3 nails for triclavianism, with 32 sun rays around it. But IHS 18, Sun 18, dead on a Sunday. And again, 19 matters too, because in tarot, the 19th card is the Sun card. And, since it's July 4th, again, it's 7-4. 74 is a number of killing. That's why 3 of the first 5 U.S. presidents died on 7-4. CNN this morning had a pop quiz for their audience. Which 2 presidents died on the same day on July 4th? It's just like, I mean, I don't know how more people don't just really think about these things. Okay. I want you to see that George Washington equals 74, right? George Washington, 74. His vice president was John Adams, who died on July 4th, the same day Thomas Jefferson died. They both died on 7/4/1826, and then 1,826 days later, Monroe died on July 4th, 7/4. Again, holiday 74. Independence Day is 74. Supposedly we got free on this day. Free is 74. Again, many of the founders of this nation were Masons. Masonic is 74. Modern Freemasonry was created by the Jesuit order in London, 74. An English-speaking nation. And did we ever really get free from England? The language we speak is the answer. English is 74. Like Gematria 74. Again, there's the song Gematria, the killing name. Recently, the man who wrote that song lost his daughter, and he asked for the flowers and condolence letters for his daughter to be sent to the local Masonic temple, making it super obvious. But killing is also 74, just like stabbing is 74. And again, our calendar, which is given to us by the Roman Catholic Church, remembers the stabbing of Caesar on the Ides of March, March 15th, which is the 74th day of the year. And another form of death that happens ritualistically is drowning, drown 74. We just saw Ryan Mallett, the 74th pick of the NFL draft, drown. And on that same day, you had the death of Ryan Cu, 74 days from his birthday, 74 days from his band's new album that's coming out, which all the articles of his death mentioned how he died this day, and the album's coming out on September 1st, which is 74 days later. And remember, Ryan Seacrest was also big in the news that day, taking over Wheel of Fortune, which is another 74. But again, if you're new here, this 74 number, Gematria 74, English 74, Energy 74, all of these things being presented to us by a code to disturb our energy for the most part. Disturb is the right word. Because, does the media really do much else besides disturb you and annoy you and provoke you and scare you into some sort of an agenda, some sort of consumerism? Not really. That's pretty much all it's ever been for all my life. I'm just like, keep that news away from me. I'm just going to go outside. Everything's just fine out there. You turn on the news, oh my God. Everyone outside with their muzzles on, with all their Pfizer experimentation in their body. It's like, I'm not doing any of that. And, I was just outside. I was perfectly fine. I was outside through the whole thing. I was just fine. Anyway, and let's not forget they simulated the whole pandemic on October 18th, the day leaving 74 days left in the air, and it was the biggest tragedy since 9/11, where the buildings came down on the 74th meridian, and then they called it Ground Zero, which is a terminology that comes out of the nuclear weapons program, the point above or below ground where a nuclear bomb explodes. Nuclear 74, energy 74, weapons 74, killing 74, on and on and on. But again, all roads lead to Rome. Roman 74 and Holy Roman Empire 74. And again, they gave us the language, and they gave us the sun in the sky, the word sun in the sky. They didn't give us the sun in the sky, but they gave us the word for it, sun. Just like male offspring son, like the male offspring of God is Jesus, and Jesus is 74, and so is Jesus Christ, and so is cross, and so is Messiah, and so is gospel, and so is parables. And you see how the word fruit is 74 and 61? So is Jesus. And again, then sacred geometry, the shape that is responsible for all creation, is known as the fruit of life. And it's made out of 61 overlapping circles. Jesus is 74 and 61, just like fruit is. Notice words like cross has the 61 in church, and Christian, and Christmas, and other things I'm forgetting. But just to bring it back to that 18, again, 61 is the 18th prime number, and son equals 18, right? And you spell it the way of a male offspring, son is 33, like Jesus crucified on the cross at 33. And just for the record, out of the 50 states, only one equals 74, and it's the 33rd state that no East Coast person can pronounce correctly. They pronounce it the way it looks, but again, for all you East Coast people that still can't figure out how to pronounce the state Oregon, or Oregon. It's more like gun at the end, not gone. Almost every East Coast person calls it Oregon, but it's not. Trust me, it's the state I was born in. So, again, 4th of July, and one of the biggest Jesus rituals in recent years was Kobe in the 74th NBA season. Remember, dead at 41, crucify 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass. Of course, Kobe Bryant's also 41. But there's a lot of 74 rituals, My latest book. By the way, if you guys have not supported my latest book, it is for sale on Big Bad Amazon. If you just search Zachary K. Hubbard, that's my name, Number Games, it should pop up. And they got the price down to $15.49. That's cheaper than I can buy it from BookBaby and ship it to you. I could not beat that price. And seemingly the price just keeps dropping as it doesn't sell, because I have not noticed any payments for a few months. So I'm not sure that it sold any copies in recent months. But yeah, thank you to everyone who ever did support the book. And I opened the book with 74 just because it's such a classic number. This is my second book, Letters and Numbers, which is not in print. Begins with why there's 26 letters in the English alphabet. You can get the ebook version of Letters and Numbers, but Number Games begins with 74. So, good day to start learning about Gematria, July 4th. And again, if you're going to be out with friends and families, great day to just drop a little 74 on people, you know. It's such a big topic, 74, and it's so easy to talk about with this nation's history. And again, how English, Gematria, occult, Masonic, energy, all those things are 74. Jesus, cross, Messiah, gospel parables, all 74. This English-speaking Christian nation. For everybody who thinks Biden didn't win the election, again, you can remind them that they called the election for Joe Biden when it was at 74 million votes. And then, of course, it finished at 81 million, like President Biden and President Trump equal 81. And again, Biden's from Scranton, where Route 81 runs through. But yeah, R.I.P. to Leandro De Niro Rodriguez, the grandson of De Niro. And again, I mean, it's just like, you know, Bob Dylan, 60 Minutes with Ed Bradley, who's since died, Ed Bradley. You know, they both had a nice laugh about how you got to sell your soul to make it big in this world. You got to sell your soul to the devil, or as Bob Dylan put it, the chief commander of this world. Again, God rules the universe, but the devil rules the earth, is the biblical teaching. So you know what Bob Dylan and Ed Bradley were laughing about. And Ed Bradley didn't last that much longer, but, you know, he wasn't just talking about himself. He said that's what you got to do in this world if you want to make it big. And Bob Dylan in that 60 Minutes interview, you know, he made the point that I'm not the greatest singer. I would have never been here if I hadn't done it. And everybody knows that about Bob Dylan, that he's not the greatest singer. He's got a lot of good songs, but not the best voice. Yeah, I still remember the first time Sweet Lady heard Bob Dylan singing, her face was like, this guy's famous? I was like, yeah. Yeah, you should watch a 60 Minutes interview. So, and Bob Dylan has that very biblical album as well. What is it? Highway, what is it? Is it Highway 61? Yeah, it is Highway 61 Revisited. Yeah, 61. And God, I mean, for the record, in Jewish gematria, God equals 61. Just like how Jesus, the Son of God, has the 61 connection in English. 61 is the 18th prime number. In Jewish numerology, 18 is the number that represents the meaning of life. And it's probably why in the U.S. and some other nations, 18 is recognized as the beginning of adulthood. Even though for some of us, it comes a lot sooner. We have to be adults a lot sooner than 18. And for other people, they never have to grow up. There's, you know, people that are in their 40s that are still like little kids. But yeah. Oh, and maybe there's. Why did Johnny Winter come up? I never realized that before. If that's a cover, is it actually Johnny Winter's song? But Bob Dylan made it famous. Let me see. Johnny Winter. He's born on the 54th day of the year. Bob Dylan's older. I'm going to have to do some research on that. Who actually wrote that song? It's funny that Google says Johnny Winter. I always thought that was Bob Dylan's song. But Bob Dylan definitely has the album Highway 61 Revisited and sings that song. But yeah, it's all biblical, right? And then it starts to make a lot more sense. You know their little number code. So anyhow, we'll leave it there for now, True Seeker. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. And yeah, if you guys can help get the support back up on Patreon, because it is just way, way down. it'll help me make the case here with the domestic life for the latest road trips, which do need to happen. But yeah, right now I'm in a big hole with a sweet lady in that argument department. So Kobe Bryant Day, we want to start heading down there about the week before that so we can do the California tour again and hopefully a lot more. Support's going to need to get up back to where it was, as we approach that. Otherwise, I'm kind of up doo-doo creek without a paddle. So, and again, if you guys have a way to contact Rambo, I don't know where else to reach Rambo now that his YouTube channel's down. But if you guys know a place, send him some support because I'm sure he's pretty disappointed about his channel being taken down. It's a major injustice. All right, True Seeker. Till next time.